Hi, it is Wednesday morning. It's about 9:30. Last night, what we were waiting for was on Monday they took out breast tissue and they took out my implants that I had put in last April, April 2008. And then the breast tissue had to be sent away to the lab to be analysed for 48 hours because I had injected soda bicarb into my breast tissue. And what that does is it kills healthy cells as well as cancerous cells. So histocytes, which are kind of mop-up cells, come into the area, mop up or any dead cell tissue, and it's very hard under the microscope to tell a histocyte from a cancer cell, apparently. So the pathologist wanted 48 hours to take the tissue away, be able to stain it and really analyze it properly so that he was 100% certain that they had gotten all the cancer and they had clear margins around it. So we only expected those results this morning at 10 o'clock, but they had them last night already, or some of them. And what they found was that the soda bicarb hadn't messed up too much of the tissue. It hadn't made a difference actually under the microscope. And but they did not get a clear margin in two areas, which was up here where the largest palpable lump was. They didn't get a clear margin where they scraped just under the skin, so they're going to have to take that little bit of skin out. And they also didn't get a clear margin where they just took breast tissue out. They now going to have to shave the muscle to get a clear margin. The other thing that they did find was alongside the DCIS they found a 3.2 millimeter bit of invasive cancer. And I didn't want to let everybody know before I had all the facts, but I still don't have all the facts. Those will only come out after surgery. And what's going to happen is this afternoon I'm going to go back into surgery as was planned, but instead of having the tissue expanders put in, the surgeons Carol and Gareth are going to try and get those clear margins on the skin, in the muscle. They may need to sample one or two more lymph nodes, because although we did take the sentinel lymph node out in November, because there's been such a long period between now and then, and also the fact that now there is an invasive component which they weren't factoring in then, they need to just be certain that it has not spread anywhere else. So on Monday's surgery, Carol injected blue dye into the lymphatic system, so she will know or be able to see where the lymph glands are. It's unsure how many she's going to have to take out. I'm hoping it's not too many, because once you take out quite a few, it then affects the way your arm drains fluid, which is your lymph in your arm. So you would have to, for the rest of your life, keep massaging the fluid up and out of your arm, etc. Which, again, compared to having cancer in your body, is pretty minor. But that's just one of the things. So I'm just praying and hoping that the lymph nodes are still clear and that they manage to scrape and get clear margins, however much skin they need and muscle they need to take out this time. They're then going to send that tissue away to the lab, so he's not going to do the analysis in theatre as he normally would within that hour. He just wants to be 100% sure, and I feel like we've come so far down this road now of waiting and waiting and waiting that I trust them completely to do the safest thing. So if everything comes back clear tomorrow and they manage to get clear margins and they are happy and they haven't had to take too much of the muscle so that they can still insert implants behind or as tissue expanders, they're going to then do that maybe Thursday or Friday. But if they've had to cut away quite a bit of the muscle to ensure they got all the cancer, then it's going to delay the insertion of the tissue expanders, which at this point is like, hey, I'm so far down this road of being chopped and hacked and scarred and whatever. Really, I just want to be alive and I want to be safe. So that's where I'm at this morning. Carol and Gareth have sat with a panel of 14 people this morning and thrashed out my case, because it's unique. It's not too typical, which I feel very grateful for. I feel very appreciative that they are so thorough and such experts in their field. I was kind of told as they were leaving by the breast psychologist to that I'm forbidden to take any of my own medicine. And I was, yes, no, not taking any of my own medicine. And it's been hard to resist taking it, because in the past, when I've been in hospital, I have. You know, if I could just take a bit of opium for the constipation, or if I could just take a bit of calendula for the healing. But this time I've been so strict about not taking anything, because after Monday, when I had the removal of the breast implants and the tissue scraped out, that evening I started bleeding and I had a hematoma. And it wasn't a huge bleed, it was just oozing. But the only thing that Gareth could find was that the melatonin has a side effect, and I've been taking melatonin as a cancer and a breast cancer treatment and preventative. And I've been taking 9 milligrams a night, which is quite a high dose if you were just using it to sleep, but I've been using it as a therapeutic dose. And as a minor side effect or warning, he found that it said do not use in cases of bleeding disorders, which surgery would be. So this week I've just given myself over to their medicine. I feel quite mentally foggy, I feel quite acidic still, but I'm quite accepting and quite residing, and it is what it is. I've got quite a bit of mucus, and I think it's just the irritation from having had the tube stuck down. My voice is still a bit croaky, even today, and it's going to start all over again when I go into surgery this afternoon. They've been very kind and put me first up, so I'm at 1:30 today. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit shaky and maybe a little bit tearful, and I think it's just the waves of stress come. I need to just release them, and then I'm fine again for the next while, and then it comes up again. I'm feeling hopeful and positive and trusting, and whatever will come and will be, and just the last 3 or 4 months has been such a lesson for myself, that I have this inner strength and courage that I never knew I had. And up until this point, I was kind of quite, give it to me, I need it, come on God, you know, I can handle it, just throw me a little bit. But God gives it to you in a way that says, okay, you want it, let's test it, you know, let's see, I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball, and that's how you're going to test whether you've got it. So I know that whatever process follows from today, I will be able to handle, and I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of myself, I'm not scared of my own mortality. If anything, it has pushed me closer to that eternal spirit that is within me, and I hope and pray that everybody at some moment in their life gets a chance to just glimpse, even if it's just for a moment, of that eternal spirit. So I'm sitting outside in the courtyard because I just had to get out of the ward. I was just, sitting down the whole time. I'm so mobile normally and active. I can't do any yoga moves or positions. So I just thought I'd come outside and I'd try and inhale a bit of sunlight through every single pore in my body, and just try and lighten and lift myself a little bit, and say a few positive affirmations. And yeah, this is still the best day ever, and I'm going to leave you and speak to you later. Cheers.